I'm Jason Walters, and welcome to the IPR Game Room. Today we'll be talking about heroes and treasure. I've been playing role-playing games for literally over 40 years. And during that entire period, one of the holy grails of game design of role-playing games is to create a game that a parent can play with a small child, an actual role-playing game that can be played with little children. And in Heroes and Treasure, we have probably the single best entry into this genre I've seen yet. It is a true role-playing game with really almost zero math involved. It's modular, it's well-produced, and it's complete. Now I'm going to walk you through it. The settings for Heroes and Treasure is very simple. It is a basic dungeon crawl involved to get little children introduced to the idea of playing a more complex fantasy role-playing game. Now, it has a very interesting design in that it comes with a variety of these cardboard floor pieces. See, some are caves, and on the other side you have an actual room. There's both these narrower ones and these larger ones, and they're all lettered, right? And when you actually run the game using the setting, you have an adventure book. Sort of like, kind of like a module, and it tells you what is in each room, and it tells you how to arrange the tiles for it. Furthermore, the game comes with a wide variety of stands and cardboard punch-outs. So you have, for example, a variety of characters you can choose from, and it comes with stands to put them up on, right here. Ditto for the monsters, which you can also punch out and set up on stands. And the adventure book, the introductory module for Heroes and Treasure, is Adventures of the Mystic Rubies. Comes with everything you need to set up everything in the dungeon. Another interesting aspect of Heroes and Treasures is that there are no character sheets, there are no pencils needed, and there's very little math. Now, it's important to note that this is not sort of a dumbed down version of D&D. You've seen a lot of that over the years. Many of you watching this, you've seen where the designer will say, well, 6 stats is too many stats. Let's have 3 stats. Let's have 1 stats. It doesn't work like that. Instead, each class has an individual card that the player is given, and it tells them what they do as they go up levels, what more things they get. It tells them what die represents the weapon they have. For example, for a fighter, they get a gray die. For a rogue, they get 2 daggers represented by 2 orange dice, and so on. Incredibly easy and intuitive to play. Hit points are represented by these little red tokens. And the player, conceivably a very young child, gets a certain number of tokens that they can lose when attacked by monsters. The game also comes with a variety of tokens representing potions, here we are, boxes, keys, chests that you can, when they enter a room, put down. The combat system is extremely simple, but again, it's not a dumbed down version of D&D or anything like that. It revolves around attacking monsters, doing hit point damage, but the 6-sided dice don't actually have 1 through 6 on them. They have a certain number of pips on them depending on how effective the weapon is. There's also tokens for spells, so spellcasters get a certain number of tokens, which they then turn in as they use spells. And there's various potions that restore mana points and allow them to get the tokens back throughout the dungeon. At its core, Heroes and Treasures is a game designed for parents to play with younger children. And when I say younger children, I don't mean 12-year-olds or 14-year-olds or 16-year-olds. I mean ages 4 and up. As an experiment, I ran Heroes and Treasures for 3 children. One was 8, one 9, and then there was my own 10-year-old daughter. But my 10-year-old daughter has Down syndrome, so cognitively, she's a bit more like a 6-year-old. And she grasped this game without any difficulties whatsoever. All 3 of the kids grasped it, played it, liked it, and after we did the first 2 levels, wanted to stay up playing more. It went really well with the kids. You saw all the classic things, all the wonderful, terrible behavior you used to from a dungeon delve game in 3 smaller children who'd never played one of these games before. So for example, sort of the charging into a room without thinking, all the classic fantasy stuff, the running in and attacking, or then the maybe I shouldn't do that, it seems a little dangerous, maybe hanging back, maybe you go first, no, I'm going first. All the classic stuff you know from your own childhood, totally supplied by this game, but to younger children. So I cannot recommend this game highly enough for what it claims to do, which is, again, be an introductory fantasy role-playing game, comes complete with everything, nothing else needed, that a parent can play with a younger child and their friends. Follow us on social media at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Subscribe to our newsletter with the information listed below, and of course, subscribe to our channel. And remember, gamers, when you're fighting goblins underground with nothing but a dagger, remember you can